Hey guys, welcome to today's video. So my lovely friend Tamara had a photo shoot this day and she asked me to do her makeup, so we thought we'd record it so you guys could see how I created a very warm tone look on her. She was heavily inspired by autumn winter because she was doing a lookbook. I'll link her blog post below if you do want to check it out. But yeah, just starting off with primer. I primed using the Makeup Forever Step 1 Smoothing Primer and the Too Faced Hangover RX. And then following with that, she brought her own foundation. This is the Z Cosmetics Flawless Finish Foundation in C3 Warm Yellow. I started off with a foundation like paddle brush and then just bounced all over the top with a beauty blender to absorb any excess product that may have just been sitting there. And then for concealer underneath her eyes and a little bit down the center of her face, I used this NARS Soft Matte Concealer in Light 2.5. I think it's pronounced Cannelle. She has pretty flawless skin, so I just applied a light layer and then blended it out using a beauty blender. So just baking underneath her eyes, I used the Mercier Loose Translucent Powder, and then with the Real Techniques Multitask Brush, I used that powder just on the rest of her face just to set all the foundation down, so it would last throughout her photo shoot. For her eyebrows, I just used this trio that I've had forever from the makeup store, and I mixed mostly the medium brown and a touch of the black and just lightly dusted that into her brows and then set them in place with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. Next, I primed her eyelids with the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion and then wiped away the bake underneath her eyes. I know you can leave this, but I didn't want her to get, I don't know, I guess flashback or look too light under there if I left it for too long, so I took it off before I finished off her eyes. Starting off with Frappe from Makeup Geek, I applied that kind of messily everywhere, really. I mean, obviously focusing on the crease, but I let it go where it wanted to go. And then using Cocoa Bear, I applied that to kind of the outer half of her eyelid and quite far up because she has Filipino background and she tends to lose the eyeshadow when she opens her eyes, so I went a little bit higher than I usually would. That shimmery shade there was Cosmopolitan from Makeup Geek, and now I'm using Americano, which is a deeper brown, just to further define her like kind of outer V part of her eye. And that fluffy brush was just to kind of blend everything out. On the inner corners, I used In the Spotlight from Makeup Geek to highlight, and then on the lower lash line, I used a little bit of Cocoa Bear and then blended it out with a little bit of Frappe. To bronze up her skin, I went in with the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. To bronze, I used the shade Sombre, I think it's pronounced, Sombre. And to contour, I used the shade Shadowplay, which is the middle contour shade in the palette. Next, she brought her own blush, so I used the Z Cosmetics blush in the shade Echo, and I think it looked really nice on his skin tone. I wasn't sure when I saw it in the pot, but it turned out really well with the whole look. And then for highlighter, I broke out a new highlighter of mine. This is the Jouer Cosmetics highlighter in the shade Topaz. I bought it using Chloe Morello's code, so just go check out one of her videos or one of her Instagram posts on Jouer and you'll see a code there. I think I saved $15 from memory or something like that. And I'm in love with this highlighter. It looks so nice on Tamara. Next, I used a lip color that she brought with her. This is the Z Cosmetics Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Spa Day. And then I just did a thin line across the top of her eyes. I just used the L'Oreal gel liner in black and just, yeah, drew on a thin line just to define her eyes for when they kind of came out in photos. And then curling her lashes, I applied a layer of the Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara. I didn't want to go in with falsies because she doesn't always wear a lot of makeup and I wanted her to be comfortable during her photo shoot, so we just stuck to mascara. Finishing off with a spritz of the Urban Decay Chill Makeup Setting Spray. And yeah, that's the finished look. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!